The headlines: Kidnappers of Judge, 3 children demand 300 million naira ransom. 63 dead, over 2,000 cholera cases recorded so far across 33 states of the Federation. Local furniture manufacturers gasping for breath in Kano over economic downturn. Dozens killed in attack on a village in central Mali. Hello there, good evening and welcome to the news update on Trust TV. I'm Abdullahi Ahmed. We begin in Kaduna, where abductors of a customary court judge in Kaduna State, Janet Galadima, and her 4 sons have demanded the sum of 300 million naira as ransom to secure their release. The judge and her children were taken from their home located in Mahuta New Extension, Igabi local government area of the state, in June this year. Days after they were taken, the abductors killed her 14-year-old son and threatened to kill the others if the ransom is not paid. Worried by the plight of the family, the chairman, Nigerian Bar Association, Kaduna branch, Godwin Ochai, while addressing a press conference, called for the urgent need to rescue the family. He described the kidnap as a wake-up call to the governor of the state to address the growing security threats across Kaduna State, which has become the primary responsibility of the government. Elsewhere, the Northeast Development Commission has pledged to provide victims of the Goza suicide bomb blast with humanitarian needs to lessen and help recover from their traumatic experiences. The managing director of the NEDC disclosed this while commiserating with victims of the bomb blast in the state specialist hospital in Maiduguri. He explained that the commission is part of a state government committee that will provide the necessary support for survivors of the blast. The hospital said it has lost 2 victims so far, as 20 more have been discharged.
The marriage ceremony, then burial, these are all crowd events, and then they targeted it very well, but unfortunately they got it, and this has happened. So we are talking to state government, we are talking to all the stakeholders, and I'm sure the state government is probably going to have a committee also. We are going to be part of the committee, and we will now provide all the support that we can do to help the people for now, for the future and the long term.
We don't have much challenge except for human resource.
How about
we need human resource. Blood, no problem with our blood. We've already mobilized our people. We have, I think, one of the best blood banks you have in the north is here. We need doctors, nurses, and other paramedics. All are in fact, even cleaners, still we need them, including security. Security is one of the major, apart from the other specialized profession. Next is security.
With regards to the latest on the cholera outbreak, Nigeria has so far recorded over 2,100 suspected cases of cholera across 33 states of the Federation. The health authorities at the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention said this marks a significant increase from the 1,579 cases reported just over a week ago, highlighting a rapid spread of the outbreak. This was disclosed by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention Commission, which put the total fatality rate at 3%. Briefing journalists on the measures being deployed against the outbreak on Tuesday, the NCDC Director General, Jide Idris, says cases were recorded as of June 30, 2024. According to the Director General of the NCDC, Lagos, Bayelsa, Abia, Zamfara, Bauchi, Katsina, Cross River, Ebonyi, Rivers, and Delta states contributed about 90% of the cases so far. He also attributed the outbreak to the consumption of contaminated water and food, highlighting the highly contagious nature of the outbreak. The Director General of the NCDC identified inadequate toilet facilities, poor sanitation, and inadequate safe water supply as factors militating against cholera eradication in Nigeria. And in Lagos State, residents of Lagos State have called on the federal government to reinstate the monthly sanitation exercise as part of efforts to help curb the spread of cholera outbreak. They made the call while speaking to Trust TV News against the backdrop of the recent outbreak of the disease, which has spread across 33 states of the Federation. The report.
According to experts, curbing the spread of infectious diseases such as cholera disease requires environmental and personal hygiene. In Lagos State, residents have decried the poor management of the environment as indiscriminately dumped refuse dots the length and breadth of the state. This, a pharmacist at Orile Agege General Hospital, Fumi Ajao, said must be addressed amongst other issues of hygiene.
We need to know the right methods that we need to implement in disposing of our waste. Yes, we have Loma, but Loma can't do everything. It starts from the basics, from your kitchen. You need to know how to bag your waste. We have different colored bags. The public needs to know that there are different waste for different bags. We need to know the solid waste, we need to know the municipal waste, we need to know the infectious waste, the glass and the plastic waste bags. They are all colored bags.
Lagos residents, on their part, want the state governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, to reinstate the monthly environmental sanitation exercise that is observed on the last Saturday of every month to ensure the surroundings are kept clean.
For us to eradicate this cholera disease, we have to keep our environment clean. And moreover, we should tell the government or advise the government that the environmental sanitation that is something is facing up, they should bring it back. That every house should come, every household should come out the way we normally do it then. That every Saturday or last Saturday of the year, that we should bring it back.
The government should bring sanitation back to Lagos, because every environment is very dirty and it's causing cholera disease. That is the problem.
Government can bring back the environment for the cleaning of the environment, because during that time, everywhere always looks clean. And for now, because of the disease, we should keep all our surroundings clean, and whatever we are doing, we should make it clean, like household, everything that we have at home, all our children, we should make sure that they were well cleaned.
Now, I want the government to bring back every Saturday sanitation as they used to do. I mean, every last Saturday of the month as they used to do. Because this will go a long way to sanitize our environment as it is. Because now it's only in the market that you see people trying to sweep and clean some places. But what about our household? What about where we left to come to the market? They are dirty.
Meanwhile, experts are calling on residents to prioritize cleanliness, observe personal, environmental, and mental hygiene in order to avoid cholera.
Staying in Lagos, an early morning downpour on Wednesday flooded parts of Lagos State, making it difficult for commuters to move freely to their various destinations. With the downpour, workers in the nation's commercial capital struggled to get to work. The Iyana, Oworo, Olopo, Meji areas leading to the Third Mainland Bridge were completely flooded, causing heavy traffic. Many who defied the rain and left their homes in the hopes of getting to work were seen stranded at different bus stops across the state while trying to commute in the city. Motorists have to spend hours on the road coming through Alakpere to the Third Mainland Bridge. Also heavily flooded was the Iyana, Oworo, Olopo-Meji area heading to the Third Mainland Bridge, causing long traffic that extended to Alakpere area. Elsewhere in Lagos, the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency successfully rescued 7 individuals trapped in a collapsed story building in Mushin area of Lagos. Dr. Olufumi Oke-Osanyotolu, the agency's permanent secretary, confirmed the incident in a statement released on Wednesday. The collapse occurred at Mushin area. In response, Lasema and other key responders swiftly mobilized to the scene, demonstrating their readiness and efficiency in handling such emergencies. Dr. Oke assured the public that the agency remains on high alert to manage the situation and urges Lagos residents to remain calm. He also advised residents to avoid any non-essential travel due to the incidents of flash flooding across the state, which have compounded challenges faced by emergency responders.
Just look at it. Easy. It's not bad. This is so serious.
They said that one don't go short. Where did I pick that? Only one picking. Okay, only one picking. That shop there for here. Okay, yeah, that went there for
You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Still to come. Local furniture manufacturers gasping for breath in Kano over economic downturn. More on this and many other stories up ahead in just a moment. Welcome back to the news. Let's take another look at our top stories. Kidnappers of Kaduna Judge and 3 children demand 300 million naira ransom. 63 dead. Over 2,000 cholera cases so far recorded across 33 states of the Federation. Students of the University of Benin staged a protest on Wednesday over a power outage that has persisted for over 3 weeks. Unable to endure the resultant hardship any longer, the students blocked the outbound route of the Lagos-Benin Expressway. Before reporters were chased away by the protesters, several students expressed their stress from the prolonged outage had become unbearable, and the demonstration significantly disrupted traffic, with vehicles being unable to continue their journeys only on the inbound route of the expressway. Now, over the years, the high demand for furniture has attracted both large-scale manufacturers and small-scale artisans into the industry. However, the current economic situation in Nigeria, combined with the proliferation of manufacturers, has resulted in low sale volumes and decreased profits. In this report, Trust TV's Idris Jibrin examines the current state of furniture industry in Kano and explores how local artisans are navigating these economic challenges. His report.
The boom in furniture industry may not be unconnected with the cultural practices of the people of Kano State, especially in contracting marriages, where furniture, popularly known in local parlance as part of kayan daiki, constitute part of the essential as required by Hausa tradition, where some of the young men driving the industry often suspended their formal education at secondary school level, while a few graduates have found passion and opportunities in the business. Unfortunately, the furniture industry is no longer what it was.
This furniture, there's nothing we could do. Just give glory to Almighty Allah. Because things are really tough. Furniture things, we cannot even afford to be buying materials. Before, we used to buy this plywood, we used to work at the rate of 9,000 naira. Each plywood now double, over 25,000 naira each plywood now. So things is not easy for us.
The furnitures, we are going some kind of issue now due to the expenses of the material that we will buy in some cases. And these materials that we are buying, they are so expensive. That's why some customers, they are selling us the materials expensive, and we are facing some issues.
Furniture is both a consumer and industrial goods. However, furniture makers in Kano say the current economic situation in Nigeria is forcing many people to stay away from buying furniture, largely because it's too expensive owing to the high cost of material.
Sometimes the customers are complaining. They are complaining about the issue of the expensive, because previously some customers, they can buy the bed at 500,000 or at 200,000, but now it's more expensive. It can reach 5,000 or more than that.
According to Abdulaziz, the need for government to intervene is necessary if they are to continue to remain in business, as furniture hitherto sold at 200,000 naira now cost between 400 to 600,000 naira, which is why the furniture makers are facing low patronage at the moment.
I've been here since 7:30. I'm the owner of this Elame furniture from here to down that side.
Yes.
That can day 1 week, 2 weeks, since a month. Damn, I never said, but we are living.
In Gorenduse, many people are said to have left the business, basically due to lack of capital and high cost of imported materials. And those who manage to remain in business are operating far below their usual capacity.
Sometimes we need some materials from other side, like foreign materials, because now we are making a modern furnitures, but we doesn't have some materials in our country.
At least if government come in, at least I believe things will be very okay. But for now, no intervention, nothing is going on. Just leave us.
Although things are tough for furniture makers, but these people are however hopeful that one day things will be better for the furniture industry in Kano State. Idris Jubrin, Trust TV News, Kano.
In other news, the Kaduna Electricity Distribution Company has announced an increase in the tariff payable by customers on Ban A feeders. According to a statement released on Wednesday by the company's head of corporate communication, Abdulaziz Abdullahi, premium customers will now pay 209 naira 5 kobo or 50 kobo per kilowatt hour, up from the previous rate of 206 naira 80 kobo per kilowatt hour. The statement, titled Upward Review of Tariff for Ban A feeders, clarified that the new tariff became effective on July 1st. It also notes that the tariffs for Ban B, C, D, and E remain unchanged. This tariff hike comes amid widespread complaints from customers, including manufacturers and public, as well as private institutions, who argue that their monthly electricity bills are becoming increasingly unaffordable. Away from Nigeria, armed men have killed approximately 40 people in an attack on Jibubombo village in central Mali. Local officials reported that the attack took place on Monday in the Mopti region, an area in Mali's north and center where groups linked to Al-Qaeda and ISIS have been active for more than a decade. Eyewitnesses say the attackers surrounded the village during a wedding ceremony, and a local youth representative noted that the assault began before nightfall and continued uninterrupted for about 3 hours. The officials did not identify the attackers, and no group has yet claimed responsibility for the attack. Super Falcons head coach Randy Waldrum has picked captain Rasheedat Ajibade, goalkeeper Chiamaka Ndadozie, defender Osinachi Ohale, forward Azizat Oshuala, and 14 other players for the finalists for the Women's Olympic Football Tournament in France. Also among players on the list are defenders Oluwatosin Demehi and Michelle Alozie. Midfielders include Deborah Abiodun, Halimatu Ainde, Christy Ochebe, and Tony Payne, as well as forwards Esther Okoronko, Chiwendu Ehozue, and Ochena Kanu. Squad members who are currently on holiday in Nigeria will join home-based players and team officials aboard an Air France flight from Abuja to Sevilla in Spain on Thursday night, with the rest of the playing squad as well as technical team also arriving in Sevilla on Friday for a 2-week training camp. The team is scheduled to depart Sevilla for France on Thursday, 18th of July. 9-time African champions, the Super Falcons, who are making their first appearance at the Women's Olympic Football Tournament since 2008 in China, will tackle Brazil, Spain, and Japan in that order at this year's tournament. To qualify for the 12-team tournament, the Falcons edged South Africa's Banyana Banyana 1-0 in the last qualifying round, with a strike from penalty spot in Abuja by Ajibade separating Africa's top 2 teams over 2-leg encounters in April this year. Well, that's all the news at this hour. Check back a little later at 9 for more news updates. But for now, do follow us across our social media platforms. You can also check out our website, trusttv.com, for the latest news and documentaries. My name is Abdullah Ahmed. Thank you for your time.